Hey, yo, what's good, YouTube? Yeah, I just decided to look back. Let's look back at the 2025 season and see what did I do right and what did I do wrong. Um, I'm looking at my projection sheet. First off, I had some people in the top round that definitely did fail. Barkley, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, Neighbors got hurt. Nico Collins didn't do that much. Brock Bowers, yeah. Um, I did draft a lot of Bijan, so I'm happy about that. I drafted a share of Barkley that hurt. Didn't have that many shares of Justin Jefferson. But problem is I didn't have like any shares except in like Dynasty or Christian McCaffrey. So that hurt. So let's take it to see how they were scoring. So when it comes to the defenses, as we see, Seattle end up finishing on top, 10.4. I think I had Seattle throughout the season, but I might have dropped them. But I had a lot of Houston Texans because I seen they had a cush playoffs. And let's see what defense pretty much end up being a league winner. Go 14-17 the playoff, and it looks like Minnesota scored the most points for the playoffs. So I did have them in the Triple FL league, as you see, because it's highlighted. So that worked out. I think I collected a number of defense. I didn't want nobody else to have no decent defense that I was able to get off the waiver wire. So I just see. Kicker, it don't really matter. This was the league winning kicker, Audrey, coming in clutch. I did have a lot of Farm Braun. I think I had Aubrey at one time, but Fairbraun was leading the league, so I had picked them up at waivers at the time. Number one kicker ended up being Jason Myers, though, but Fairbraun was number two, and then Aubrey was number three. Um, Quarterback, Josh Allen ended up leading the league with 23.4 points. But who came in clutch in the playoffs and won you your playoffs? Brock Purdy was averaging 32 points in the playoffs. So he had that bye week 14. Hopefully you was able to survive that. Because once you got him, 26.2, 31.9, 37.9, like he was trying to carry you to the promised land. So, hey. And I had played against, here's a quick story, in one of the leagues. I played against a guy I think I played in two leagues with him. And we matched up in a regular season, like week 2. Everybody thought my team was weak in that league, you know. Yeah, it wasn't the strongest team, I will admit that, but I did I started to call my team, you know, I felt like it was like the team of destiny, you know, because I was winning games. I ended up having the best record in the league. I finished 12-2. Next person finished like, you know, 9-4 or whatever. 9-5. Yeah, 9-5. So I got 3 more wins than the person next to me. But we played in week 2 right before we played. The man, you know, was like, "Oh, I'm about to stomp the person that's about to play me." I'm like, "Bro, calm down, bro." He lost, and then we end up matching up in the playoff. He started talking trash again. I'm like, "Bro, didn't we just go through this in week 2?" Look, bro, I'm like, calm down, because Josh Allen always have one poop playoff game, and that could be this playoff game. Nah, Josh Allen gonna kill it. 6.9 points. That's what Josh Allen did. I didn't drafted enough Josh Allen that I don't be pressed about drafting Josh Allen. This guy, he wants Josh Allen on every team every year. He willing to draft him in the second round to get him on his team. Me, if Josh Allen fall to me in the third round, I'm all for it. But I ain't going. I'm not going poor because Josh Allen has done this to me in a number of years. He'll be carrying my team, and then in the playoffs, he'll give you one of those games because you're used to him carrying your team, and he'll sell you out like that. So that's what that clown get. um, for wide receivers, Puka Nacua end up leading the wide receivers in points average with 15.2 points per. Hold up, let me switch it to PPR. I always forget. Get to that. You need to switch it. 23.3 points per game. I was like, something wrong. I know JSN was doing it for beginning of the season. And if you go to the playoffs, let's see, 14, 15, you see Puka Nacua led you to the promised land, 31.5 points per game. Boy got hot. 35.7, 27.9, 46.5, and 15.7. So slow game right there. Chris Olave did this thing too. If you was able to survive week 14, where he gave you 6 points, he went off the other 3 games. I did draft some Puka Nacua. I did have some Puka Nacua. I didn't have no Chris Olave. I didn't pick up Michael Wilson. So, this hurt me. I didn't draft a lot of him. I did have some Amon-Ra, some Chase, Parker Washington. I think I don't know if I had much of him. Had some Zay Flowers. Didn't start on Luther Burton. I had him on a bench. I ain't have nuts to throw him out there. So, a lot of 50-50 things winning my playoffs. Because a lot of these players I wasn't convicted on. I did have a lot of Rice. You see, Rice ended up going to IR. It pretty much was like, why play him when Patrick Mahomes went on IR? Did have a lot of Rice. I didn't have any Pickens. People know I was going against Pickens. So, people always throw the Pickens things in my face. A lot of Pickens production, and we go and dissect it. A lot of Pickens production, the super big game, a lot of it was when Lamb was out. But he handled his business. Look, he exceeded what I thought he could do. Shouts out to Pickens. I can't be mad at anybody that drafted him. London didn't show up at the second half of the year. He hurt a lot of people. I did have a number of Lamb. He was hurt. Had some Nick Collins. So yeah, I think this season I went more so running back heavy. I drafted a lot of running back heavy teams in redraft. But the problem is I did not have Tristan McCaffrey, who led our running backs. I did have a lot of Bijan, had a lot of Jonathan Taylor. Man, that pick it was just juicy pick. It was 2 running backs that just was an easy pick. Easy pickings if they fell into your arms, and it was Jonathan Taylor and Devon Achane. Achane was going round 1 in the beginning of the off season where you was able to draft. So I was drafting best ball. So he was going round 1. He suffered some kind of injury or whatever, and he fell to round 2. Nobody wanted to touch him. Like some drafts I got him at the end of round 2. Nobody wanted to touch him. I'm curious if I could have got the man in round 3. Like he was just easy picking. So I had a lot of Achane. He did his thing. Gibbs when I can get him. I didn't have any Cook. So I know he was killing it the first beginning of the season, 21, 26, 20, 22. He was killing it. One game, 33. Didn't have any Derrick Henry. So, I'm trying to think, did I have to play against him? Most teams didn't make it. You didn't make it to the championship if you had Derrick Henry. So I really didn't have to play against Derrick Henry. I had a good amount of Chase Brown. I had acquired him in the offseason last season. So in Dynasty, I had a good amount of him. But yep. So I did do who was the league? Did I do who the league winner was? Let's see. So, and I've been on putting 14 in there. Really, it's really 15 to 17. And there you go. Bijan. I had a lot of Bijan. So Bijan did help me out. Derrick Henry, surprisingly, with that 45 point, end up finishing second. And Chase Brown, Christian McCaffrey, James Cook. This guy right here surprised the hell out of me. Like every time this man had a big game, I cringed. I was like, I had no Travis Etienne. I bet against him every time this season. And every time he had a good game, I was just like, every time. Oh, didn't have no Ramondre Stevenson. He ended up. I had a good amount of Henderson. I had a lot of Henderson. So that game almost lost me a championship because I waited for Henderson. I really wanted Henderson to play, so I didn't push Bill out there. Bill ended up scoring 32 points on my bench because I was waiting to see if Henderson was going to play. I think Bill ended up playing like Thursday or something like that. I think that was that was a Christmas game. So then when I put him out there, man gave me 8 points. So thank goodness I was still able to win my championship. But yeah. Achane didn't really show up. You see, he down here. I had a lot of Swift. Swift was spotty, but he did show up for the playoffs a little bit. Yeah. So, hey, a lot of ups and downs for the fantasy season. I dealt with a lot of injuries, so that was my issue. Last year, I didn't invest in It's funny how things work. I did not invest in what quarterback was that? That was Jaden Daniels. I didn't invest in any Jaden Daniels last year because of his size, and I was scared he was going to get work. Even though I love me some Jaden Daniels as a prospect, and Jaden Daniels went crazy. I invested in a lot of Jaden Daniels this season. If it ain't Jaden Daniels, I'm drafting Lamar, and that we knew how that went. Thank God I drafted a good amount of Hurts. Hurts was steady. Hurts was pretty steady. So my Hurts team, hey, it did its thing. Drafted a good amount of George Kittle. He was out a bit, but when he did play, he did his thing. And in the championship game, I drafted a lot of him in best ball, so that hurt me. But in the championship game, when I was just able to switch him out for Tunges. Tunges ended up scoring, I think, 19 points. In the one league I did switch him out in. So had a lot of Amari and Hampton. That hurt me. Amari and Hampton was like out a lot of the season. So a lot of players that I drafted a ton of got hurt. And Jaden Daniels, Lamar, Amari Hampton, Ricky Parcell, like killing me. Ricky was killing me, like killing me. God. I did have a lot of Harold Fannin. He helped. I had a good amount of Junkins. He was helping. Yeah. So didn't have any of Mbuka. Didn't have that much in Mbuka. I would say that much. But had a lot of Doomsday. Doomsday started off good and then went down the drain. Had a handful of Hunter. He started to rep up, and then he got hurt. So, yeah. That's how that season is. It was an injury-prone season for me. So, I can't. It's hard to say I was totally wrong because of the injuries, but at the end of the day, injuries are part of the game. So I felt like I'm wrong in spots. But hey, all we could do is try it again, roll it again next year. Well, will I be on McCaffrey? That's the real question. Because if I auto correct, get on McCaffrey, and this man sell me out, like I would be risk averse for the rest of my life. Like, so I got to think about what I'm gonna do with Christian McCaffrey. The one league that I drafted Barkley in, I drafted Barkley. He sold me out, but I drafted Murray Hampton too. He was unavailable. It's just like I was just striking out in that one league, and I had won the previous season. Now people talking trash to me, acting like I'm the worst player in the world. I was like, you son of a. But that's all I got for y'all. Just wanted to go over the fantasy. Of course, next we gotta start getting in 26 rookies. So look forward to that. I'm out. Peace.